From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has rejected suggestions that his party could benefit from a change of leadership similar to the Democratic Party in the United States. The Democrats saw a bump in the polls after U.S. President Joe Biden's exit from the presidential race last month. When asked if he's taking any lessons from the U.S. Democrats' party tactics, Trudeau said the big lesson is in responding to the things that people are actually worried about. The Liberal cabinet is holding a retreat in Halifax to prepare for the upcoming fall sitting of Parliament. Today they address two significant issues. Canada is bringing in new tariffs this fall on electric vehicles made in China in a bid to keep the cars from getting a significant foothold in the North American market. EVs made in China will be slapped with a 100% import tax, and Chinese-made steel and aluminum products will have a 25% tariff applied. Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland says the transition to electric vehicles should not come at the cost of Canadian industries.
The reality is China has an intentional, state-directed policy of overcapacity and oversupply designed to cripple our own industries. Talk to the steel sector, talk to the aluminum sector to understand how effective that has already been.
The announcement comes nearly 4 months after U.S. President Joe Biden announced plans to quadruple his country's import tariff on Chinese-made EVs to 100%. Also, Canada will be rejecting applications for low-wage temporary foreign workers in areas where the unemployment rate is 6% or higher. The federal government says the changes to the temporary foreign worker program mean employers will be allowed to hire a maximum of 10% of their workforce from the worker program, down from 20%. Immigration Minister Mark Miller says the new rules will take effect on September 26th.
This is an important aspect today of making sure that we have a system in some areas that's gotten overheated, that is under control. We'll continue to do that to make sure that the people that are here temporarily are properly welcomed here, but the welcome to Canada obviously is not boundless, and we have to make sure that it makes sense in the current economy for Canadians, obviously, but also for the job market as it continues to constrict, and we won't hesitate to take additional measures if necessary.
Workers hired through the low-wage stream will be able to work a maximum of 1 year, down from 2 years. There will be some exceptions to the rules for specific sectors such as healthcare and construction. And the British Columbia Wildfire Service says there are no longer any wildfires of note burning in BC. The number of blazes in the province has dropped to under 300 as favorable weather conditions allow crews to make good progress against wildfires. Although a fire information officer warns the change doesn't mean the wildfire season is over. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, catcher Danny Jansen made baseball history at Fenway Park. He's the first big leaguer to play for both teams in the same game. He was a Blue Jay when Toronto's game against the Red Sox was suspended on June 26th. Jansen was later traded to the Red Sox and played for Boston when the game resumed today. Toronto won 4-1. Seven-time All-Star Charles Roberts will be honored by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on September 7th. The CFL team will induct him into the club's Ring of Honor during the Banjo Bowl against Saskatchewan. Roberts is the franchise's all-time leader in rushing yards. The Canadian flag bearers for the upcoming Paralympic Games are set to be named tomorrow. They will lead the Canadian team into the opening ceremony on Wednesday in Paris. A total of 126 athletes from 18 sports will represent Canada at the 12-day event. And at the U.S. Open, the final Grand Slam of the tennis season in New York City, 5 Canadians are scheduled for singles action tomorrow. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.